Greetings to all. Welcome to our group presentation for the course EFN 5302, Educational Technology for Teachers. My name is Joya Noble, and today my co-presenters Jessica Skeet, Rihanna France, Naisha Cornelius, Roxalyn Boyan, Kieran Allen, Eric Narain, and I will explore how 4 influential educational technology models are applied in the modern classroom to transform passive instruction into rich, interactive learning experiences. Today's session is designed to be interactive, so please have your smartphones or laptops ready. My colleague, Ms. Skeet, will get us started with the presentation.
So to get started, let's do a quick live poll. Please scan the QR code on slide 2 or go to menti.com and enter code 5302-2026. So the question for our poll is, which model do you currently rely on most when designing tech-based lessons? So I'm going to give you a few minutes to answer the question. Again, the question is, which model do you currently rely on most when designing tech-based lessons? Excellent. So looking at our live results, I see that many of us default to SAMR or ADDIE. Today, we will examine how combining all 4 frameworks elevates students' engagement from basic digital consumption to true revolutionary learning. Now, I'll hand you over to Ms. Francis and she will continue with the presentation.
Let's begin with Paul Welliver's instructional transformation model from 1990. Welliver's described a 5-stage journey teachers on the go when adopting technology. These are formalization, utilization, integration, reorientation, and revolutionary. True interactivity peaks in the final 2 stages, reorientation and revolutionary, where technology ceases to be a fancy electronic chalkboard and instead redefines the student's role from a passive listener to an active creator. To illustrate this shift, consider a history lesson on World War II. In a traditional utilization stage, a teacher displays a timeline on an interactive whiteboard and plays a video while students take notes. Interactivity is low because the teacher strictly controls the flow of information. In contrast, at Welliver's revolutionary stage, the teacher tasks students with researching conflicting national perspectives, using collaborative tools like digital whiteboards or wikis. Students construct an interactive, multi-layered map embedded with primary sources and audio clips. Here, technology enables collaboration and students-led inquiry that would be impossible in a paper classroom. My colleague, Ms. Cornelius, will take you through the next section of this presentation.
Next, we examine the ADDIE framework. This is a systematic design model encompassing analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. While often considered a curriculum design framework, teachers use ADDIE to systematically embed interactivity into lessons. Let's look at an English literature classroom. During analysis, the teacher notices students struggle with Shakespeare Macbeth. In design and development, rather than assigning a standard essay, The teacher creates a branching, choose your own adventure, digital story. During implementation, active learning takes place. Students vote in real time on key character choices, witnessing how alternate decisions alter the play's trajectory. Finally, in evaluation, a digital exit ticket assesses whether students' comprehension improved compared to traditional reading. ADDIE ensures interactivity is purposefully engineered rather than added as an afterthought. I'll now hand things over to Ms. Boyan to continue.
Moving to Dr. Ruben Pentidura's SAMR model, which outlines four distinct levels: substitution, argumentation, modification, and redefinition. This helps educators evaluate whether technology is simply substituting an old tool or genuinely transforming the learning process. Let's compare enhancement versus transformation. Substitution. Students read a textbook PDF on a tablet instead of the actual paper. Zero functional change. Argumentation. Students read digital text with built-in text-to-speech and audio documentaries, adding functional enhancement. Modification. The task is redesigned. Students take adaptive digital quizzes that alter question difficulty in real time based on performance. Redefinition. Technology enables tasks previously inconceivable. For instance, students connect via video conference with a partner in another country to co-author a shared research report. Moving up, SAMR directly increases students' agency and collaboration. At this point, I will have Mr. Allen continue with the presentation.
I will be taking you through Dale Cone of Experience. Edgar Dale Cone of Experience, 1969, categorized learning experience along a continuum from abstract symbols at the peak to concrete direct experience at the base. At the abstract top, reading about the water cycle or listening to a lecture yields the lowest memory retention. Moving down to visual material or animation improves understanding. However, at the concrete base, such as student building a physical terrarium to observe condensation firsthand, retention and interactivity reach their maximum. Dale's Cone reminds us that EdTech should not just digitize abstract symbols like reading a screen, but should stimulate concrete on-hand experience through interactive sandboxes, visual labs, and real-world projects. My colleague, Mr. Narayan, will take you through the next section.
Alright, good morning. My name is Eric and I'll be doing the comparative analysis matrix. Before I show you how these models connect, let's look at how they compare side by side. Here we have the four models: Welliver's model, ADDIE, SAMR, and Dale's Cone. Welliver model focuses on how teacher growth and adoption stages. It has high tech dependence, and its peak stage is revolutionary stage, where students actively create. ADDIE focuses on systematic instruction design. Technology is optional here. It's about the process, not the tools. Its peak stage is implementation with active dynamics. SAMR focuses on the level of task transformation. Technology is required. SAMR does not work without it. Its peak stage is redefinition, where technology creates entire new kinds of tasks. Dale's Cone focuses on how concrete a learning experience is. It requires no technology at all. Its peak stage is direct, purposeful experience. So notice the pattern. As we move down the list, technology becomes more and more essential. Dale's Cone needs none. ADDIE treats it as optional. Welliver's depend heavily on it, and SAMR cannot function without it. Now let's look at how these four models actually work together in a real classroom. This slide shows how the four models layer together from planning to execution. ADDIE is the umbrella. It's a process I follow before I ever step into the classroom. Analyze, design, develop, implement, evaluate. It is the blueprint for the whole lesson. Inside that process, Dale's cone guides my design choices. Once I know my objective, Dale's cone pushes me towards concrete hands-on experience, like having students handle real seeds or soil, instead of relying on a lecture or a textbook page. Samar comes in when I add technology. It asks whether the technology is just replacing a paper or whether it's creating something new that wasn't possible before. For example, students building a digital nitrogen cycle simulation instead of copying a diagram. And the Welliver's stage tracks my own growth as a teacher, from getting familiar with a new tool to all the way to letting the students lead. From getting familiar with a new tool or the way to use it to let students lead their own creative work. To summarize, ADDIE and Dale's Cone tell me what to build. Samar and Welliver's tell me how far the technology should push that lesson. Together, these four models don't compete, they stack. A single well-designed lesson can be traced from all four. The process from ADDIE, the concreteness from Dale's Cone, and the tech transformation from Samar, also the teacher's readiness from Welliver's.
To wrap up our presentation, let's test our collective learning. Please open your Kahoot app or go to kahoot.it and enter PIN 8493021. We have 5 rapid-fire questions on Welliver, ADDIE, SAMR, and Dale's Cone. Congratulations to our leaderboard winners. Thank you all for your active participation. This has brought us to the end of our presentation, exploring how 4 influential educational technology models are applied in the modern classroom to transform passive instruction into rich, interactive learning experiences.